countries are concerned, because we are learning that Bahrain is on high alert. Once again, warning sirens have been sounded across the country, with the government there urging people to remain calm and move to the nearest safe place. So that is the latest we're learning as far as the Gulf countries are also concerned. This is the second security scare for Bahrain in just the last 24 hours. Earlier, Iran was accused of launching drones towards Bahrain, claiming it was targeting U.S. military assets in the Gulf. Now, with the sirens blaring once again across the country, fears are growing that Bahrain is increasingly becoming a direct flashpoint in the U.S.-Iran confrontation at this point in time. This comes just hours after fresh U.S. airstrikes on Iran, further raising the risk of a wider regional escalation. The big question now is this no longer just a U.S.-Iran standoff, and has the conflict now spread once again to the Gulf countries that we have seen in the last few months as well? So once again, fresh escalation in West Asia, air raid sirens that were sounded in Bahrain as well. Let me once again go back to Mr. Mike on this. How do you look at what is happening as far as the Gulf countries are also concerned? Because Iran is attacking Gulf countries, but also maintaining that it is attacking the U.S. bases there in retaliation to what the U.S. is doing as far as Iran is concerned. Your take on this?
Yeah, why is Bahrain significant? Because that's where the U.S. Navy Fifth Fleet, the overarching Navy command, is located. So that's why we've only seen strikes on Bahrain. But again, this is where Iran is making a wildly wrong decision. They are aligning the Gulf states. They are aligning the Gulf states not only against Iran, but they're pushing them towards Israel. I think one of the things you're going to see while this MOU and the negotiations toward a final deal are going on, you're going to see President Trump push the Gulf states to enter an Abraham's Accord 2.0 that aligns the Gulf states with Israel. That has the ability of changing the architecture, not only from a security perspective, but an economic perspective within the Middle East. And that Abraham's Accord 2.0 also further contains and isolates Iran. So just wildly, just horrible decisions on the part of Iran to continue with strikes when they have a deal right in front of them. The Gulf states have been very generous with a $300 billion Arab fund for Iran as part of that deal. And essentially, they're slapping the hand out of the way. So again, I don't foresee negotiations going on. I think we are looking at a recommencement of conflict, of U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran.
All right, so it remains to be seen how this pans out. We are learning about attack on Bahrain once again. We have another breaking news coming in as it continues to pour in from the Gulf countries there. The security situation is now widening after Bahrain. Kuwait has now activated their defense systems. The Kuwaiti military has said that it is responding to hostile missile and drone threats in the country as air defense system work to intercept the incoming targets. The military has also urged people to follow all the safety instructions, warning that explosions may be heard as the result of the interception there. The update has come just a few hours after, remember, Bahrain sounded nationwide warning sirens for the second time in the last 24 hours. And amid the escalating tensions between the two countries, that is U.S. and Iran, with both Bahrain and Kuwait now on high alert, the conflict is no longer just limited to the direct U.S.-Iran exchange. This is something that we also saw in March as well as April as well earlier this year. Now the big question is Gulf becoming the next front line in the escalating conflict, something that we've seen in the last few months. Kuwaiti air defense system, they have intercepted the drones coming in from Iran at this point in time. Mr. Mike, how worried should countries across Gulf be after the drone attack on Kuwait as well as Bahrain? Because this is not the first time that we've seen this in the last few months. UAE and Bahrain, Kuwait, all these Gulf countries, they have come under attack. How worried should they be, and what is the role of the mediators now to make sure that we don't see 2.0 of what we saw earlier this year?
Yeah, absolutely. And so Kuwait, much like Bahrain, also houses a major American airbase.
Right.
So very, very, very easy to decide why Iran is targeting those two states. Ultimately, the Gulf states should be concerned. But again, we've never seen an alignment, a partnership amongst the Gulf states of this degree within our lifetimes or history. They understand that the enemy is Iran. They understand that Iran is a threat to their 2030 economic development plans. And you brought up the Strait, and I think your words were, it was their only leverage point. The Strait is a leverage point for Iran. The Gulf state partners are already discussing how to reroute oil pipelines to the Red Sea and Mediterranean to essentially, within years, rob Iran of any leverage or disruption to their oil exports. So, I think you will see ultimately a further aligned Gulf partner states. They will be working together. They understand the strategic threat to the Strait of Hormuz in their development and their economic plans. So again, a wildly just strategic miscalculation on the part of Iran. As of now, I don't think you can prevent a 2.0. Trump said it in his statements.
All right.
They just can't learn.
Absolutely. And a warning that is also coming from Donald Trump. And he's also saying that strikes on Iran in the last few hours were carried out because it was Iran that has violated the ceasefire. Again, we have not heard anything from Iran or the Iranian media at this point in time, but we'll continue to get you more updates on this. Thank you so much, Mr. Mike, for putting that into perspective. With this, a very short break. More news and updates on the other side.